Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock on July 20th, 2025, 21st is it? 2025, and I welcome you to this meeting. It is officially now underway. We'll begin with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Amanda Butler.
Let us pray. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for those who are gathered here for this city council meeting. God, we thank you for blessing and guiding us into our decision making as we go forth in this meeting. God, we ask that you continue to lead us and to guide us into all truth, oh God, that we make the best decisions for the city. God, we thank you for the great citizens of this great city, and we ask that you continue to lead, guide, and protect us. We ask all of these things in your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Butler. We'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, if there is one. Mr. White?
May I move that we approve the consent agenda?
Thank you. Is there a second? Ms. Helms?
I'll second the motion.
We have a properly seconded motion to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, please indicate so with showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next on the agenda is item 4, introduction of summer workers and interns. We do not want to hold these young people up, but I'm going to ask that as I mention your name, that you stand, please. And if you will, please don't leave. We just want time for a quick snapshot once we have all of you together. Peyton Richardson and Natalia Simmons. There's Natalia. Peyton. All right, thank you so much. Natalia's with administration. With our court, John Sumter. Thank you, John. Sydney Livingston is in planning and development. Thank you, Sydney. In hospitality and beautification, there are these people. Ethan Lewis. Thank you, Ethan. Marisol Bryant. Thank you. Corey DePriest. Joseph Willoughby. Hunter Stalvey. Jordan Gibbons, thank you, and Tristan Bronson. Thank you so much. You can be seated now. From the police department, Suzanne Gore is one of those student interns, but she's ill and not with us today. Latrell Phillips, there you are, how are you? Kaisha Alston, and if I've mispronounced your name, would you correct me, please? Kaisha, thank you, dear. And thanks for being here. William Mareski III is also out sick today. Whitney Crosby, thank you so much. With recreation, the following people are summer lifeguards. LaRue Hedges, Emily Singleton, thank you, Emily. Finley Hux, and Ava Brazil. Lily Reeves, Andrew Carroll, thank you so much for being here. Kelly Calhoun, and Kai McCutcheon. In recreation and summer camp counselors, we have Derek Grant. Thank you so much. Darlene Spain. Thank you. Kaylee Burrows. Thank you, Kaylee. Cynthia Monroy Medina, so glad to have you, and Khalil Campbell. Khalil, thank you. Also in recreation, another summer worker is Devon Cardelli. Did I say your name correctly? Devon, thank you so much. In public utilities, Tyler Gore, thank you, Tyler, and Blaine Holt. Blaine, you know we must be related somehow. In Public Works, we have Mason Parrott. If he's present, thank you, Mason. Heath Huggins, Thank you so much. Jonathan Albrecht, did I say that correctly? Thank you so much, Jonathan. And Emerson Ray, I'm thinking. Thank you so much. Finally, we have one summer intern in our fire department, and that's Eric Pertel. Mr. Pertel, thank you so very much. We're so very proud of you. And if you would please gather on this side. I've been told that they don't need me in this photograph, they just want you. I'm very clear about that. Who said that? Everybody look. And while they're gathering, can we have a round of applause for all of these?
Okay, smaller, smaller,
That is the more audience. Come on, y'all stand right here. All of you are welcome to stay and witness the workings of city government. Some of you are taking me
City Council Mayor.
Next on the agenda is a special presentation of longevity awards. Mr. Emmerich.
2001, our city council created a program to recognize milestones in the life of our city employees with their lifespan with the city. And so tonight we're excited to be able to recognize 3 employees on their milestones with the city. First is Jessica Hutz. Jessica has celebrated 10 years with us. Jessica was hired on June 8, 2015 as a zoning officer, was promoted to planner in 2019, and was promoted to planning and development director in 2022. Congratulations, Jessica, on your 10 years. Next up is Alfred Smith, Jr. Mr. Smith was hired in 1990 as a volunteer firefighter, who he still works in that position today. Congratulations on 35 years with the city. Our last employee recognition tonight is Sandy Martin. Sandy was hired in 1990 as a secretary, was promoted in 1997 to administrative assistant, and was promoted in 2023 to executive assistant in the fire department. She was also the 2001 Public Safety Employee of the Year. Congratulations on 35 years with the city.
Congratulations to all of these people with their milestones. It speaks to what it's like to work for the city of Conway, particularly when you do it as a volunteer for 35 years. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all in 5 years. Item B is presentation of Employee of the Month for 2025, and this comes from the realm of public service. Ms. Miller.
It is my pleasure, and she's going to be so surprised to announce Becky Gray, our Deputy Director, as Employee of the Month. Becky consistently demonstrates a strong communication and commitment to public service, integrity, and excellence in every task that she does. She plays a vital role in ensuring that city employees receive support and guidance when they need it, during good times and bad times. So sometimes it's when they come in as a new employee, and sometimes it may be that something bad is happening in their life. But she deals with them with great respect with whatever she's doing. Whether assisting new hires or supporting current employees through life events that require updates to payroll, benefits, or personnel records, Becky approaches every interaction with professionalism, compassion, and genuine desire to help. She provides a valuable support during both joyful milestones for those employees and difficult ones. Her dedication, kindness, and reliability make her an outstanding candidate for recognition of Employee of the Month.
Thank you for all you do, Becky. Congratulations. Item 6A is final reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0721A to annex approximately 2 1/22 acres of property located at 1091 East Highway 501 and rezone from Horry County Highway Commercial District to the City of Conway Highway Commercial District. Ms. Hutz.
Yes. First reading of this ordinance was approved at the June 16th council meeting. The annexation is being considered as a result of a requirement from public utilities. The property was on the same water meter as the residence located on Amber Lane, which has the same property owner. And as a result of the requirement for the property to have a separate water meter installed, annexation must be requested by the property owner, also requiring that all surrounding property owned by the same applicant be subject to annexation as well. The proposed zoning for these three properties upon annexation is highway commercial, which is consistent with the city's future land use map. Planning Commission held a required public hearing on the request at their June 5th meeting. The property owner has expressed his desire not to be annexed at the time, and there was some clarification needed as to if he was on Grand Strand Water and Sewer Water or City of Conway, but it is City of Conway Water. PC ultimately recommended against the zoning of highway commercial upon annexation of the property. But the property is within the city's water utility service area, and these properties, along with surrounding properties, will be part of an overall area plan that staff will be developing for the Red Hill area, and as such, staff recommends approval of final reading of the ordinance.
Thank you, Ms. Hux. I move we approve the annexation of this property. Is there a second?
I'll second it then.
Thank you. Mr. White, is there any discussion? We will then have a vote. All in favor, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. That motion carries. Ms. Helms, are you voting? Okay. Are you voting?
Yes.
Carries unanimously. Thank you so much. And now I move also that we zone this property City of Conway Highway Commercial. Is there a second? Mr. Goldfinch. Thank you. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate your favor with showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to item B, final reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0721B to annex approximately 79 1/100 acres of property located at 150 Amber Lane and rezone from Horry County Commercial Forest Agriculture District to the City of Conway low to medium density residential district. Ms. Hutz.
The ordinance to annex and rezone this property to low density residential upon, or low to medium density residential upon annexation received first reading at the June 16th meeting. The property has the same owner as the previous item considered at 1091 East Highway 501, and this property was feeding water to that Highway 501 property, requiring its own water meter, thus requiring annexation. Planning Commission held the required public hearing at their July 10th meeting and recommended disapproval of the request. As is the case with the other property, this property owner does not wish to be annexed into the city, and however, council did approve first reading, and the property is part of an overall area plan for the Red Hill community that staff will be developing, and therefore, staff recommends approval of final reading of the ordinance to annex and zone the property R1 upon annexation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hux. Again, I'll move that we approve annexation of this property. Is there a second? Thank you so much, Ms. Hardwick. Is there any discussion or question? Are there questions? There being none, all in favor of this annexation? Yes, sir, Mr. Goldfinch, I'm sorry.
That's all Adam, I think.
I'm sorry, Ms. Butler, yes.
Can you just elaborate again why there is disapproval from the other departments?
The property owner did not wish to be annexed. It's an R1 piece property, and there was some concern from some of the staff that had commented that it was taking them into an area that they currently do not have to go to. But again, this area, if you look at the little red on the map, that's already in the city, and the ultimate goal is for those properties along that stretch to eventually be in the city limits, but that's why Planning Commission recommended disapproval.
Anyone else? We'll move forward with the vote. All in favor, please indicate so through the showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. And like Mr. Watt.
I have a question, not related to that ordinance, but on a lot of the documents that we have now, we have some stuff that's been redacted. Can I ask why? Like the names or the addresses or the phone numbers, et cetera?
Sure, I can give a brief explanation. This property owner, as a matter of fact, had reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and said that I had sent him an invoice for our services as far as preparing documents. And I think what's happening is, not that anything that we publish is out of the realm of being able to publish. It's not like social security numbers or anything like that, or driver's license numbers. But in an effort to hopefully lessen that happening, because he was very upset, rightfully so, that he was sent a rather large bill, and he's not the only person. I've had firms reach out saying that I personally have sent links to invoices for people to pay for services. So in an effort to hopefully stop that, I've redacted the personal addresses and phone numbers and email addresses, so maybe when they are published, that doesn't happen moving forward.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else? I think I'm going to also move then that we zone this property that is now being annexed as R1. Is there a second?
This is item B or C?
This is still B.
B, yes, okay, yes. Second, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. White. Is there any further discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate so with the showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item C is final reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0721H to annex approximately 22 and 88/100 acres of property located on Gardner-Lacey Road and request a rezone from the Horry County Office Professional Institutional District to the City of Conway Low-Density Residential District. Ms. Hux.
Yes, and just to clarify, the city would never send an invoice or a bill for services from city staff to assist with rezoning or planning commission. So it is a scam, but, I just want to make sure that I clarify that. Yes, this is final reading and annexation of zoning of these properties. First reading occurred at the June 16th council meeting. The properties are currently zoned Horry County Office Professional Institutional, or OPI. The city's future land use map identifies the property as being professional. According to the applicant, there are no immediate plans to develop the property. However, if and when the property is developed, because it would be serviced by city water, the owner would be required to request annexation. Planning Commission held a public hearing on the proposed zoning of low to medium density or low-density residential at the July 10th meeting, and actually recommended that the property be zoned, if annexed, to the professional district instead of the low to medium density residential district. At this time, staff is recommending that final reading to annex to the property be tabled pending ongoing discussions with the county regarding a proposed multi-county business park. And if in the event it were to move forward and be untabled in the future, it would need to go back to Planning Commission to be considered for professional so that the correct zoning district is advertised and considered by Planning Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Hutz. Mr. Goldfinch.
Mayor, I move we table said motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Ms. Helms? We have a properly seconded motion to table this issue until a future meeting. Is there any discussion?
Yes,
Mr. White?
Is D not a part of the same issue?
Same area, same reason for recommending table.
But different people?
Different completely,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. I want,
Might we combine the two, or?
I would not.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm not sure where we were.
Take the vote.
We've done all that, we've got a second. I don't believe there was any other discussion. We'll call a vote. All in favor, please show your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item D, final reading of ordinance ZA 2024-0916C to annex approximately 1 43/100 acres of property located at 104 Gardner-Lacey Road and rezone from Horry County Highway Commercial District to the City of Conway Highway Commercial District. Mr. Goldfinch.
Mayor, I'm going to move that we table said ordinance.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jordan. We have a properly seconded motion to also table any action on this piece of property. Are there questions or is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, thank you. Item 7A is first reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0804A to annex approximately 224 plus or minus acres of property located on Highway 501 East, Church Street, New Road, Ash Pond Road, Marina Drive, Elm Street, and Laurel Street, and rezone from Horry County Heavy Industrial District, City of Conway Light Industrial District, and City of Conway High Density Residential District to City of Conway Waccamaw Riverfront District. Ms. Hux.
Yes, the city is seeking to annex and zone these properties to WRD 1 and 2, which is considered a special use district similar to a planned development or mixed use district. Some of the property is in the county and some portions of the same properties are in the city. Rezoning these parcels to WRD 1 and 2 will allow some development on some parts of the property while also protecting the Waccamaw riverfront. The WRD districts can be considered a downzoning from the current zoning of some of the subject properties such as light industrial, Horry County commercial forest agriculture, and Horry County heavy industrial. The city's future land use map identifies the properties as mostly conservation preservation and a small portion where the smokestacks were once located as light industrial. Planning Commission held the public hearing on the request at their July 10th meeting and recommended approval of the WRD Districts 1 and 2 upon annexation of the property. And staff also recommends approval.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hutz. Mr. Goldfinch?
Mayor, I move that we annex said parcel into the City of Conway.
Thank you. Is there a second? Ms. Hardwick, thank you so much. We have a properly seconded motion to move forward with first reading on this item. Are there questions or is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate such with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Goldfinch, is there?
Sure. Mayor, I would move that upon annexation, we rezone said parcel to light industrial in the City of Conway.
WRD.
WRD.
WRD 1 and 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
That Waccamaw Riverfront District.
Yep. Yep.
I'll second Mr. Goldfinch's.
That's what I said. There it goes. I'm looking at the wrong page.
I'll second Mr. Goldfinch's motion. Again, questions, comments? With there being none, all in favor, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item B is first reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0804B, and I'm losing my voice. Pardon me, please. To rezone 533, give or take, acres of property located on Highway 501 East Church Street, known as Lake Busby, from low to medium density residential district to conservation preservation district. Ms. Hux.
Yes, this property was transferred to the city in April of this year. Currently, the property is zoned low to medium density residential. The city is seeking to rezone the property to conservation preservation, which is consistent with the city's future land use map due to the environmentally sensitive nature of the property. Planning Commission held the required public hearing at the July 10th meeting and recommended approval of the rezoning to conservation preservation, and staff also recommends approval.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hux. Mr. White.
May I move that we annex this property, please?
Is there a second? Ms. Harvard? We have a properly second. Yes, Mr. Goldfinch.
Question.
Yes.
Rezoning this particular piece to conservation preservation, would this in any way impact the future Busby bypass, if you want to call it that, the highway that would, Adam shaking his head, so.
I can't say that.
It won't impact, zoning won't impact the future road projects.
Yes, and this is already in the city limits. It's already zoned City of Conway, so this is just rezoning the actual property.
I see.
The motion
So,
to
Mr.
annex
White.
would not be required, it would just be the rezoning.
Exactly. So would you just adjust your motion to speak to the rezoning as opposed to the annexation?
Okay, I would like to have this piece of property rezoned. Thank you.
To,
Conservation preservation?
yes, sir. Thank you
Right.
so much. Any other questions or comments?
You'll need, I can't remember who the second was on that one. Whoever it was would need to amend the second.
Maybe there wasn't one. Thank you so much. Ms. Hardwick, did you? She did, I know the most recent one was you, so I'm thinking that's this one. Thank you. All in favor? Please show your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item C is first reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0804C to annex approximately 1 4/10 acres of property at the corner of Highway 544 and Todd Boulevard, and rezone from Horry County Highway Commercial District to the City of Conway Highway Commercial District. Ms. Hux.
The applicant intends to construct a Scooter's Coffee on the property. Currently, it contains a telecommunications tower, a State Farm insurance business, and a produce stand. The current zoning of the property is Horry County Highway Commercial. The requested zoning upon annexation is Highway Commercial, which is consistent with the city's future land use map. Planning Commission held the required public hearing at their July 10th meeting and recommended approval to zone the property Highway Commercial upon annexation, and staff also recommends approval.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hux. Mr. White,
I move that we approve first reading
of the annexation.
of this annexation, excuse me.
Thank you so much. Mr. Jordan.
I will second Mr. White's motion.
A properly seconded motion to approve the annexation of this property. Are there questions, comments, any discussion at all? There being none, all in favor, please indicate such with a showing of your hand. Motion again carries unanimously. Item D, first reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0. Oh, I'm sorry, we did miss that. I move that we also rezone said property from Horry County Highway Commercial to the City of Conway Highway Commercial. Is it Mr. Goldfinch?
Second motion.
Thank you. A properly seconded motion. Questions, comments from anyone? We'll call a vote. All in favor, please show your hand. Motion carries unanimously.
And should you make an explanation as to why we are doing two votes? Okay.
Item D, first reading of ZA 2025-0804D to annex approximately 1 8/100 of an acre of property located on Cypress Circle at Conway Medical Center and rezone from Horry County Highway Commercial District to the City of Conway Institutional District. Ms. Hawks.
Yes, these parcels are considered a true donut hole within the Conway Medical Center campus. Everything surrounding these properties on the campus is already in the city limits and zoned institutional. The applicants are planning to submit some plans for additional parking and possibly seek approval of a master parking plan if needed, and as such, they will need to annex these remaining parcels into the city. The city's future land use map also identifies the parcels as institutional. Planning Commission is scheduled to hold a public hearing on their request at the August 7th meeting, and their recommendation will be forwarded with final reading of the request. Staff does recommend approval of first reading to annex the property as institutional, and with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hawks. I'll move that we approve annexation of these properties. Is there a second? Ms. Butler?
I second that motion.
A properly seconded motion to annex said properties. Are there questions or comments? There being none, all in favor, please show your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item E. First reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0804E. Okay. I need to slow down. Is there a motion? Thank you, Mr. Goldfinch.
Mayor, I move that we rezone said parcel to institutional district upon annexation.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Harwood? Thank you. We have a properly seconded motion to also rezone this property to institutional once in the city of Conway. Discussion? There's none. All in favor, show your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, thank you. Item E, first reading of ordinance ZA 2025-0804E to annex approximately 1 34/100 acres of property located off 16th Avenue and Elizabeth Street behind the Coastal Shopping Center and rezone from Horry County Commercial Forest Agriculture District to the City of Conway Highway Commercial District. Ms. Oaks.
Yes, ma'am. During technical review of the redevelopment of this property, it was discovered that this parcel to be used for stormwater purposes was still in the county's jurisdiction. The applicant was made aware that it would need to be annexed and combined with the project at that time. This particular property is shown as conservation preservation on the city's future land use map, and a majority of the property is within a flood zone. However, the property has been used for stormwater purposes for the shopping center, and that is the proposed continued use. Planning Commission will hold the public hearing at their August 7th meeting, and staff will forward their recommendation with final reading of the ordinance to annex and zone the property highway commercial upon annexation. But staff does recommend approval.
Thank you so much. Is there a motion relative to annexation? I'm sorry, Ms. Butler.
I'll make a motion that we annex said property.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Goldfinch.
I'll second her motion, please.
A properly seconded motion to annex this property into the city of Conway. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate your favor with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. And now relative to rezoning or zoning this property, I'll move that we zone this property in the city of Conway as highway commercial. Ms. Helms? I'll second the motion. A properly seconded motion to do so. Are there questions or is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor, please show your hand. And that motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item F is first reading of ordinance 2025-0804F to amend Title 7, Chapter 4, Article F, Section 7482.7, towing and storage charges of the Code of Ordinances, City of Conway. Chief Long.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Thank you for hearing me on this issue here. The state of South Carolina has reviewed their tow schedules and have updated them. Horry County has kept pace and has modeled that same ordinance. We're about 2 years behind their pricing. Our tow operators perform a very invaluable service to us. 2, 3, 4 in the morning, whatever time it is that we call them to come, they're getting up and they're coming, rain or shine, hot or cold, ditches, swamps, ponds, whatever it is they have to go into. And I am proposing just to model our ordinance to make it consistent with the county and the state.
I move we approve. Is there a second? Mr. Goldfinch?
I'll second your motion.
Is there any discussion? All in favor of approving those changes in charges for storage and towing, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much, Chief. Item G is first reading of ordinance 2025-0804G to amend Title 8, Chapter 4, Section 843, Operation of Golf Carts of the Code of Ordinances, Conway, South Carolina. Mr. Rogers.
Good afternoon. This is to update our golf cart ordinance as changes to state statute this year allowed, as we discussed at the last workshop. The major changes to the section would be set time limits for golf carts of 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. to establish that they may operate with a 4-mile radius of their registered address, that they may not operate regardless of the speed limit on Mill Pond, Coltra, and El Bethel roads, and that they may operate on primary highways where they're banned by default of the state code in areas where the speed limit is 35 miles an hour or lower on 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue, Main Street from Kingston to 5th, and the portion of 16th Avenue that is overlaid by Highway 501 business.
I'm sorry, I have a question, if I might ask before we move further. The 4-mile limit, is that based, what is that based on, or is it arbitrary?
That's the maximum limit allowed by state law.
Thank you so much. Ms. Helms?
Can we change that from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. since most restaurants and ice cream close at 10 o'clock and give them a little leeway to get home?
Is that state law?
We can.
Is that
The council can set the times whenever they, deem reasonable.
You made that part of your motion.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hardwick.
I have a couple questions about this also. What is the map up there? Those are roads that people can drive on, correct?
The green ones are ones where, under this proposal, they would be banned by the state, but council's allowing them. So those are 3rd, 4th, Main, and 16th.
Okay, if we flip that map around and look and say roads where golf carts are not allowed, that would be,
So other than the green ones there that you would allow by this, it would be any street that has a shield number, which is 501, 90, 905, 544, so the state's primary highways, that's how they identify them.
Those are the only restricted.
Those are only restricted by state law by default.
Is one allowed to cross?
Yes.
One of those streets? Okay.
well, just as my personal opinion, I love riding somebody else's golf cart. I don't like and enjoy driving a golf cart. I also, it's concerning to me as we're navigating downtown with, you have the log trucks, you have everything. It concerns me with us giving, I was, golf carts on the road at 10 p.m. That was a concern to me, but, at the same time, when I talked to Chief and, he says there's very few incidents, is that still correct? That's correct. With golf carts and cars, and we also allow bicycles to do the same, navigate the same roads, if that makes sense. I'd much rather be in a wreck with a golf cart than a bicycle with a car. But I thought 10 p.m. was very gracious. Whichever time we do decide on it, I would ask, if it is 1 minute after that time limit, I think the law needs to be strictly enforced, because if it is 11, that people are going to push that back to 11, 12 and 1. And I think people subjectively get careless when they're in a golf cart and they get later at night. So my plea would just be to the chief to, whatever that time limit is, 1 minute after it, to them and send them home.
Mr. White?
And are there lights Does this golf course have to have a light on them as well?
For night operation by state law, regardless of our ordinance, they have to have lights.
And how will we get this information out to the general public that we are going to change this?
The state has been pushing out their end a lot, and we can push out the city's requirements once it's given final reading in whatever form that is.
Mr. Jordan?
The thought process on part of Main Street and not the remaining part of Main Street.
Just there tends to be, after Fifth Avenue, you're kind of less closed in on Main Street, and traffic kind of opens up after that point, but that's another one of those that's up y'all having discussion, but that's at Fifth Avenue, the kind of dynamics of Main Street change a little bit.
Along that same line, it seems to me that maybe a better end would be 16th Avenue. It does in fact get so much more commercial after that point. The road widens and that seems to be maybe a good line of demarcation for not allowing golf carts. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hardwick.
I just throwing this out, could staff possibly look at Main Street, because Main Street is one road, right, there's one lane, two lanes, right?
Until you get to 16th Avenue.
Yeah, is there a possibility
Just
to put
past.
a golf cart lane in that, on Main Street?
There is a possibility with the new state law, we would have to discuss that with DOT.
Yeah, it's just, that's some of the things we saw looking at this weekend is you had golf cart paths, so that street is wide enough that could be a possibility, if that, or may or may not be.
I'm confused. Are you wanting green all the way from down there to 16th Avenue?
Yes.
I tend to agree with Ms. Helms about the time of day. I don't know that the danger quotient can be considered any differently unless there's some actual data to that effect, because our restaurants and several establishments are open later. I mean, I don't know what the difference between 10 and 11 o'clock might be. But even with that said, I do think there would be a problem if we were talking about 1 in the morning. I don't know how much difference that would make.
And I think for me there, it's just, whatever that end time is, we need to enforce that end time, whether it be 10 or 11, because, most people will try to push the envelope and
Well, it's
instead
like-
of being, it'll be later.
Well, it's like everything else. If the speed limit is 35, some people I know would, I didn't name any names, but some people I know might drive 40 miles an hour, so, yeah, hopefully enforcement is enforcement.
Enforcement is very important.
Yes, I understand. Any other comments? Yes, sir, Mr. Goldfinch.
On the point of enforcement, are you aware, have we written any tickets since the state law went into effect for kids on golf carts under 12 with no seatbelts? No, we have not. Okay. That burns me up about as much as people parking in the fire lane at 2 lane. Because, you'll see parents holding their babies. You can't hold a baby and drive a golf cart.
But there was no requirement for a seatbelt until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
And that's not optional, that's a state law.
It is that, correct.
Enforce that also, chief.
Yeah, anybody else?
And the 3 line fire zone.
So I think the only issue that has been raised that needs to be tweaked into what we're approving has to do with the hour. Am I mistaken?
And the Main Street.
And the extension of Main Street.
I do have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So will court have to hear all the golf cart tickets? Will that be something?
I believe anything in that section, even though the state law would go to, it would just be traffic courts, it would go to municipal court.
Does anybody want to propose a motion? I move then that we approve generally what has been placed before us, certainly all those things that are required by state law, without any discussion, they will be a part of our laws as well. my proposal is that we extend the green area on Main Street beyond Fifth Avenue to 16th Avenue, and that we allow golf carts on our streets until 11 p.m. Is there a second? Mr. Goffridge?
I'll second your motion.
Now we have a motion that is properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? There being none, all in favor, please indicate so with showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. Moving forward, item 8A is consideration of a selection of a firm to develop a public safety strategic plan. Mr. Rogers.
So in the current budget year, council approved the development of a strategic plan for the city's public safety division. The city issued an RFP in June and bids were opened on July 10th. 6 bids were received. One of those was disqualified due to failure to follow the instructions of the RFP. All the proposals fall within the budget of $150,000 approved by council, and the qualified bidders are Mission CIT with a bid of $92,000, Sentinel Crisis Solutions at $86,000, Matrix Consulting Group at $146,500, Public Consulting Group at $49,500, and Center for Public Safety Management at $146,313 with additional options that could change their bid amount. Committee of staff members reviewed and scored all the proposals. The top scoring firm was Matrix Consulting Group, and staff proposes approving Matrix Consulting Group as the firm that will carry out the plan.
Only because Matrix is also the highest priced choice. Can you give us some general indication of why we need them?
They came out the highest scoring because they are the firm that showed the most experience in cities like ours. A lot of them did. What they showed as their experience was Miami, Houston, those kind of things that their experience doesn't necessarily transfer to us. And on some of them, it was really a pay for what you get. The quality of proposals went up as prices went up, honestly, and there were a couple of them that we were concerned what they were proposing they couldn't possibly do for the price they were proposing. So it was both cost and other factors of quality were taken into account in the scoring.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the council? Is there a motion? Mr. White.
I move that we approve using Matrix as our consulting firm.
And to authorize the administrator to enter into a contract with them?
I agree with that.
Thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Goffridge.
I'll second Mr. White's motion.
A properly seconded motion to not only approve Matrix Consulting Group as the organization that will perform the service for us, and that we authorize the city administrator to enter into a contract with them up to that amount. Yeah, time to vote.
Can we vote?
I'm sorry?
All those in favor?
Ready for a vote. Sometimes I lose myself. All in favor, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. I don't want y'all in the audience to worry too much. I pretty much know what's going on here. Item C. Is that no? Oh, okay, thank you. Item C is consideration of a resolution appointing an alternate member to the GSATS Policy Committee. Ms. Hyman?
B.
I'm sorry.
B.
I'm sorry. We still need Ms. Hyman. But item B is consideration of a request to install temporary groundwater monitoring wells on the City of Conway shop property.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. ARM Environmental Services Incorporated has been tasked with completing an environmental assessment of an adjacent property to our city shop to see if there's been petroleum leachage from an underground storage tank. And apparently the City of Conway shop property is within the radius of concern. So with that, they are asking to install temporary monitoring wells on the property. When you're driving in the city shop, it'd be to the far left. It would only take a few days, and from that information, they would find out if they needed to install permanent wells, and if they did on our property, they'd come back for that request at that time.
Thank you so much. Ms. Hyman. What's the will of the council?
I move that
Mr. White.
I move that we allow the installation of these sample monitoring wells.
Thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Jordan.
I would say, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments? There being none, all in favor, please indicate so with a showing of your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Now for item C, consideration of a resolution appointing an alternate member to the GSATS Policy Committee. Ms. Hyman.
Yes, the GSAT's Policy Committee, their bylaws for this committee, and recently they were amended. And with that there are new provisions to name an alternate member to the committee. As it stands now, the mayor is the standing member of that committee, but the alternate member must be named by a resolution, and it must be an elected official. So that is something that we have to do by resolution. And what staff is recommending that alternate be the mayor pro tem.
And it suits the purpose that changed annually?
Right.
Whoever sits in that.
Right, and I reached out to GSATs to make sure we didn't need to name a specific person, and they said it would suffice to just list the mayor pro tem, then we wouldn't have to come back to you every year to relist that specific person.
Thank you. Mr. White.
I move that we approve the resolution to the Mayor Pro Tem being the alternate member of the GSATS committee.
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Helms. We have a properly seconded motion to name the Mayor Pro Tem as the alternate member to the GSATS Policy Committee. Questions or comments? All in favor, please show your hand. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now at item 9, public input. This is an opportunity for anyone to approach this council with just about any subject. The exception would be that it has to do with an individual employee. We would, of course, take that up in a different venue. There is a 3 minutes. There's been a change recently. There's a 3-minute limit on the presentation that's given during public input, and I just need to say that neither is it interactive. We don't get into a discussion from the council and the speaker, but we will pay attention to what's being said. Sometimes when it's appropriate, our staff will hand you a business card for the department head or whomever might best be able to help with the situation with which you're concerned. We have a single name on the list today, and that is Jimmy Hammond. I recognize him to be present. If you come forward, Mr. Hammond, I'd need you please to begin with your name and address, and please speak directly into that microphone so that people not only in the rear of the room, but those online can actually hear you.
Well, I didn't know. My name is Jimmy Hammond, 1515 Churchill Drive, and my presentation was scheduled for 5 minutes. So,
please cut it to 3.
Well, thank you. 3 minutes. It's going to cost me $3,500 for my insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield with the City of Conway. And I don't think that's right. Because when I came to work for the City of Conway, I had a better presentation, but you cut me to 3 minutes. I've had people to help me discuss this with me. People got back in touch with me that were supposed to, and they helped me very much by putting my presentation together, and I do appreciate the people who did that. But it's going to cost me $3,500. I'm on Social Security, and I'm on my retirement system. And so $3,500 is what it's going to cost me. And when I came to work here in 1988, worked for the City of Conway, I was told my insurance was going to be taken care of. And due to the fact is that something came up in 2008 that Michael came in here during the time that we just got finished losing the mayor and brought this information to us. You could have voted for anything in this city council right here and you'd have got it done because we was in the turmoil because we just lost our mayor. I was told when I came to work here, my insurance is going to be paid for. So I got $3,500 I got to come out of my pocket. Can y'all afford $3,500? It's gonna be taken out of y'all's pocket. I'm not gonna be able to do some stuff downtown. I'm not gonna be able to pay my dues from the church like I usually do. I'm not gonna be able to take care of my kids like I do. I'm finished. Thank you for my 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond.
It's gonna cost several people, 'cause I've still got a minute. There's several people in here that came to work before 2008. And they thought that their insurance was gonna be taken care of, because we were told, come work for the city of Conway, your insurance is gonna be taken care of the rest of your life. But here it comes, 17 years later, after 2008, y'all come up and say, hey, at the retreat, sitting around the table, drinking a cup of coffee, we're gonna cut the 10 employees, their Blue Cross Blue Shield out from underneath them. $3,500. That's $290-some a month. Just ain't right. Just ain't right. You put your heads down and do this right here. I gave the city 60 years of service since I was 7 years old. My dad was recreation director until I was 65, until I was let go with the fire department. Come on, y'all. Go back and think about it. I know you can't go or but think about it. It hurts. 60 years of service. And there's several other people out there. Ding!
Is everybody okay? Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Item 11 is council input. I'm sorry, item 10 is the city administrator's report. Mr. Emmerich.
If you've looked out the window out back here, the downtown splash pad is almost completed. We hope to have it hopefully operational this week if all goes well. The parking lot outside is also almost completed. The asphalt is partially down. After it's done, we'll stripe the lot, then work on landscaping the islands. This is the last phase of the Scarborough Alley Town Green project that was started last year at this time and hopefully finished very soon. We had new lights installed on the downtown water tower last week. It'll allow us to change the light color and intensity based on the time of year and what we are celebrating. The next downtown project is Holiday Alley. It will begin in August, so we can use it for Halloween. The Municipal Association's annual meeting was last week, and discussed at that meeting is their newest program, impact grants for the next big idea. We intend to apply for a grant to add a splash pad at the Oasis at Smith Jones Pool. When we rebuilt the pool there just a few years ago, we upsized the filtration and pump system to allow for the addition of a splash pad at some point in the future. And so now hopefully is the time to be able to do that. The last steering committee meeting for the Parks Master Plan is tomorrow. It will be presented shortly, hopefully. We have a draft plan in hand. Once that meeting is over, then they'll be working on the final to come to council. This Wednesday at 11 a.m., we're having a small event to acknowledge and commemorate the closing of the Santee Cooper property and transfer to the city. When you come, please park inside the gate at the old steam plant site. The gate will be open and we will ferry you back to the event area. It is not walkable, nor is it drivable in regular vehicles, so we'll get you back there safely. On Thursday, we will receive a group from Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors leadership class, show them all the great things we have happening here in Conway. They do it every year. This year, we're excited to be able to meet with them again. Hopefully, it isn't storming like it usually is when they arrive, and we'll be able to actually show them some of the things outside. We have a bid opening for the newest IRF next week. This one will be located at 4th and Laurel. To remind you of the IRFs that we have, the first one was built by the water tower. The second was built behind Hoppenwich. The third was built behind Palmetto Taps. And these facilities accommodate the garbage for usually a block at a time. The one located at 4th and Laurel will be able to accommodate the garbage from Crooked Oak, from River City Cafe, from Stella's, and from any future growth in that area as well. That hopefully will remove another big chunk of the green and blue cans, make it much safer for our community, remove any of the rodents that might be there or will never be there now, and also make it smell better. So if you've been to any big cities and noticed garbage problems, the IRFs are why we build them. It removes some of that problem before they happen. We are also looking for vendors for Halloween market on the town screen this October. That call for vendors is out now. Anybody interested can email Bess Harry. We're also looking for a potential partner to operate a haunted maze or something similar at the old tennis center. Something we've tried in the past. We were not very good at the Forest of Fear. Not that we didn't execute it well. We just weren't very scary. And so this year we're going to do a request for proposal to see if anybody out there would like to try to run one for us. a quality production to work in tandem with what we're doing. National Night Out is at the Sports and Fitness Center on the 5th of August, beginning at 6 p.m. Camp Blue graduation is also on the 5th of August. I don't know what time that is, Chief. It's going to be there. That's supposed to be during the event. Very good, very good. We have a short workshop tonight to discuss a proposal for Conway to allow a pedal pub franchise. We also have several executive sessions outlined in the agenda, so I would suggest that we move to the conference room for that portion of the meeting. But before we do that, we have department head reports from planning and from police. Jessica, you want to go first? All right.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is the vendors for the Halloween event, is it for a day or a week, or how long is it?
We'd like to have someone for a month.
For the month?
Yes. We would ask that they be open a minimum of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, but when they rent a booth, they can be open as much as they'd like beyond that.
Thank you.
And just for clarification, there was some discussion about the Camp Blue graduation. When and
It's
where?
during National Night Out, so it'll be at the Sports and Fitness Center beginning at 6 p.m.
But a time, at 6?
6 p.m.
And what time's the recreation meeting tomorrow?
Recreation meeting tomorrow is at 4:30 here. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Jessica?
Planning and development continues to be pretty active, despite some forecasts that may have predicted otherwise. GIS updated the city's growth map in April of this year, and at that time, even with some subdivisions being removed, since they were complete, we're still averaging around 9,500 residential lots in some form of review. That could be part of the lots that were part of a planned development recently adopted, or the subdivision could be approved and houses currently being permitted and constructed. Our department has 2 open positions currently for an assistant zoning administrator and an assistant planner, both of which have been advertised, and we are hoping to fill those positions soon so that we can start the comprehensive plan process and 2 area plans, which will likely take approximately 3 years to complete, even with the additional staffing, because rather than write 1 or 2 elements of the plan at a time, we will rewrite them all together so that they're adopted together as a whole plan. Staff has worked on several text amendments to the Unified Development Ordinance, with 6 being adopted, and there are currently another 6 in progress. 3 of them will go to Planning Commission in August. 3 others will go to Planning Commission in September. Next month, the amendments considered will be regarding child care facilities, accessory uses for educational facilities, and amendments to the annexation process. To share some of the numbers that our department experienced for the fiscal year 24-25, one statistic that stands out to me, though not surprisingly, is that staff reviewed more plans for single-family residential dwellings than probably, at least since I've been here, or probably ever. For comparison, in 2019, we reviewed 326 plans, 210 in 2020, up to 2024, 353. And for FY '25, for just single-family, we reviewed 546 plans for single-family detached dwellings.
I hate to stop you, but would you please repeat those years and numbers?
Sure. So 2019, 326. In 2020, we dipped down to 210. That was COVID year. 2021, 354. 2022, 267. 2023, 245, and 2024, 353. And for 2025, just single-family, 546, and when you add the single-family attached, which is townhomes, we reviewed 682 new residences.
This calendar year?
No, for the fiscal year, so for the 25 fiscal year, so that's from July 2024 to June 2025. Yes. Zoning reviewed approximately 200 requests for new business licenses, processed 370 zoning violations, 70 requests for mobile food vending permits compared to the 42 the previous year, and there were 38 requests for annexation rezoning processed. And for accessory structures, which is your pools, fences, things like that, we reviewed 652 of those. And finally, in terms of the number of plans that have been submitted for review, which is residential subdivisions, final plats, commercial plans, these are brand-new projects. Our department reviewed 342 submittals for the fiscal year 2025. To give just a brief comparison, in 1920, we reviewed 171, and in 2017, only 65. So that just gives you some idea of how much we have grown over the past 5 years. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Ms. Elms?
Do you need more than 2 staff members?
I do actually have 3 approved positions, but right now just space is really an issue, so we're starting with 2 to start and see how that goes.
Anyone else? Thank you for all you do.
Her busy makes me busy. That's just about the way I boil it down is the growth is here, she sees it, and then we deal with it as well. Start off with a little update on one of our officers. Several of you have kept in touch with me and kept wanting to know some updates. Sergeant Chris Johnson is nothing short of a miracle. I've seen a few miracles in my life, and he is one of them. For him to have progressed as well as he did from the traumatic injuries that he suffered and the burns that were all over him and where he is now. August 13th, I believe, is his next appointment, and after that point, he's hoping to get cleared for light duty to be able to come in and do some administrative things for us, and I figured months. It's a miracle. Now to the other boring stuff that y'all want to hear from me. We're holding about 2,400 calls of service per month. Our staffing is fairly steady. For the past year, it was the best we'd ever had. We had a remarkable run of being fully staffed for quite a while. We're about 3 positions down now. We have one that is at the academy set to graduate. I think it's August 8th. We have one that is about 6 weeks out finishing FTO, and when he completes his field training, then he'll be out as a single officer working on his own to help with our numbers there. We have 3 backgrounds out right now that we're doing, and we're getting ready to do another round of testing to see if we can add to the team. So we're down just that little bit there. Again, Camp Blue is winding down, been a good year for us. Again, the ladies that you introduced there at the beginning, all of them work in the school system. They're like teachers' aides and things like that. So when we bring them in the summer, it is a blessing for us to have them there with the skills that they possess for that classroom management part of working with our kids. So they're doing very, very well. Again, they are learning. Camp Blue is building leaders using education. So they are definitely embracing that model there. And I get to go with them to see some things and to go with them every week to do a few things. And I see it. I see that those kids are really embracing the lessons that they're learning on respect and integrity and teamwork. Those are just a couple of the weekly topics they've had. I'll verify on that location for you. I know that it's the same night that we have National Night Out. Last year, we actually walked over and held it at the senior adult building, the senior center there, so if it's there, I'll let you know. But we have all the parents and the kids come in, call them, give them their certificates for completion of camp. National Night Out, we hope it to be the biggest we've ever had, and the last 2 years have been bigger and better than we've ever had. About 80% of the activities will be indoors, so even though it will probably be 1,000,000 degrees, it will have most of the venue will be indoors with all of the community partners we have that are coming. Outdoors will be all of our apparatus, our fire trucks, other city departments, police vehicles. We'll have the drone flying, just showing some demonstrations. And of course, the hot dog grill will be set up outside with a few inflatables there. So those are the couple of things that we have going on right now. And again, our partnership with the Sports and Fitness makes that possible for us to be able to have a venue like that can host an event this big, pull off the parking, pull off the cool indoors for the bulk of what we're doing there. So again, just love working with all these different departments because we all help each other out. So any questions you have from me?
Mr. Goldfinch.
Chief, what's the timeline for getting, somebody walks up to the police station tomorrow and says, I want to be a police officer. You say, all right, fill this out.
A year.
A year.
A year. It's really about a year by the time we start the vetting process. We get through the testing that we do. We have some standards that are required of us. Things that other departments don't have to do. We're required by the academy to do the physical abilities test. We're required by the academy to do psychological testing. So we do all those things, and by the time we get all those done, that first phase, before we even get to background, here's the analogy that I use with all my recruits when I talk to them when they're sitting there getting ready to test. I said, it's like we're getting ready to get married, but we don't get the date. I'm going to ask a few questions about you and hope that I get good information, and you ask about us and hope this is the best place for you. And hopefully it works out. And most of the time it does, but not always. So by the time we finish out that part of it, and then we get them enrolled, and we get them here, and we get them registered at the academy as an officer candidate, 4 weeks of pre-academy. We do in-service here with them where we do some pre-FTO where they're going through a lot of the administrative side of what we do. 8 weeks at the academy. By the time they finish the academy and get out, it's another 10 to 12 weeks of field training paired with an officer. You do all that in there with a week here and there where they have to wait from one part to the next part, and it's a year.
Follow up on that, from that entire process.
Yes.
Until that officers, can go out on their own and do what they do. What does that cost?
Not counting our manpower is a couple $1,000s. Psychological tests that we do through a third-party provider is pushing close to $1,000 per candidate. The internal testing that we do with the city for drug and alcohol screen and physical for being capable of doing their job function got to be at least $500, several $100s. The test that we actually give them that we buy from a third-party provider is like $115 per booklet, and they grade and they do assessments and they give us recommendations on their style of learning and things like that so that we can try to work with that candidate better. And that's not even counting our manpower of doing backgrounds, of somebody actually sitting there proctoring test. It's probably $25,000 is the amount of salary we pay them for the amount of time that they're just in training and not even productive yet. Just going to class, getting standards down, and then getting certified.
Thank you. I don't think that we know that. Anybody else?
The dates, excuse me, the dates for the National Light Out, please?
Yeah, it's the first Tuesday in August. That is the kind of the national standard. We have a makeup day in October that we actually had to use last year because we had an event going on with wind and rain and things like that pushed us off of our date last year. But it is the first Tuesday, and I think that's the 5th this year.
5th.
Yep.
Thank you. Chief, I want to compliment you and Camp Blue. The acronym Building Leaders Using Education speaks volumes for what it is you do. I've heard complaints that we are serving fewer children, substantially fewer. What is it that we can do, given the good that comes out of this kind of program for our children? Lord knows, that's the investment that we need to
It is.
make.
We ran 50 kids through our camp this summer.
How many last year?
We were consistent right about 50 last year. We have trended down a little bit. We're not turning people away per se. We're trying to prioritize with kids with a city address, first and foremost. But we also went in a different direction. My camp staff came to me, my officers that run that camp 2 years ago, and they said, we want to go from middle school to the elementary school. They get to middle school, it's too late. They have already got bad habits. They're getting reinforced in a bad way. Please let us work with the elementary school kids. And that's the ones that we really want because they're still moldable. And you go to camp, and it is unbelievable to see those kids, how they interact with everybody there, the trust they have in us. They haven't had the things told to them yet of, don't trust the police, and we try to earn it from them by what we do. Spacing, we utilize Conway Middle School facilities, so we are using, the bulk of the space is in their, cafeteria. We partner with Walkmall, let me say EOC maybe, I'm not positive. That's who helps with some of the students that have graduated out of our program that come back as team leaders. They also help out with the cost of the meals and providing food every day for them, food and snacks. We do the rest of it. So it's a matter of the logistics of how much our staff can handle without it outstripping their capability of delivering the quality they are. And right now, at about 50 kids, it's on point.
I understand the transition to younger students, and maybe that's what I'm hearing about. Somebody who had a child that had been there formerly, now that child is sort of aged out based on your targeted audience.
They can come back and be a camp counselor though.
That we're not losing numbers.
We're staying, 50 kids is strong for us. I don't know what some of the other camps around the area run, the sports camps and things, but we run 50, and it is, it uses every bit of their ability to manage 50 kindergarten through fifth graders.
I'm sure of it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, anybody else?
else?
All right, thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you.
Moving forward, at this point, we're going to do council input. We'll start on my right, your left, Ms. Hardwick.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to take a moment to say I'm very, very excited about the reports we got from our leaders tonight. I think that our department leads, we are tremendously growing, but I think also we have worked as the staff and the council to put that infrastructure together to support the needs of our citizens. I'm very excited about the mall. We had a sledgehammer, I don't know what we call it,
Hammering. Sledgehammering.
Yeah, something. For the new mall or the updating of the Coastal Grand Mall. And I think that's been such a sad sight to see it vacant for so many years, and the businesses are there, and the struggle to kind of stay there. I'm very excited about to see the new and old businesses that will be remaining there, and how the new facelift will look on the building. I think it's just going to be a shot in the arm for our economy and our citizens and our school, or at our business. I'm also looking forward to continuing to see what we're going to do with our Santee property and our groundbreaking that we have on Wednesday. And shout out also, Conway's been hosting some great baseball tournaments too. So keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Mayor. To piggyback off the baseball, we haven't met since Coastal made their historic run, falling just short to what's perennial national powerhouse of LSU. So congratulations to Coastal, head coach and assistant coach of Coaches of the Year. So nothing short of an extraordinary season. I look forward to next year with them as well. So and that's all I have.
Thank you so much. Mr. Goldfinch.
Thank you, Mayor. I got a saying I love. It goes something to the effect that you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And I was reminded of that this past weekend, one of the presentations that I attended We had 4 very intelligent ladies up on the stage talking about what they do on the state level on behalf of us to essentially, sounds like put out fires that we never hear about. It's almost like the national NSA or the CIA. If they're successful, you never know it because nothing bad ever happened. And it was just a reminder to me, and it's a reminder that I want to pass along the constituents that are watching or listening to this, is that, you know, there's a lot that we know because we're involved in it, we've got our hands in it, that you just don't know. There's a lot that dictates what we do and how we do it based on state law, and people don't understand that. They just think that we can do whatever. So I would just encourage my constituents to reach out. You know, you've got phone numbers, you've got emails, you can come here to meetings and ask those questions before you get on social media and trash people that get up every single day to do a heck of a job to make this a little better place to live, work, and call home. That's one thing. Other thing, we talked a lot about golf carts, and I brought this up last month, and we went back and forth a lot. The only thing that we've changed, just to be clear so nobody's confused, is we just extended the hours from at night from dark to 11 o'clock. You could already drive on Main Street. You don't need our blessing for that. It's a road under 35 or under. So again, the only thing that we changed was we bumped that up to 11 o'clock. And then finally, I brought this up a while back. I don't think there's a vacant property in downtown Conway. They may be vacant, they're renovating, or it's under contract or something like that, but that didn't used to be the case. And through the efforts of a lot of people who have taken a lot of risk and put themselves out there to make downtown what it is, people want to be here for a lot of obvious reasons. And I think what makes any community, particularly a downtown district, successful and a place that you want to be is when you have fun businesses. I'm talking about food, beverage, retail, things that people want to go to. But with that, you've got a lot of professional services that want to be there too. And as Conway has become so successful, I don't know what we could do. I think it bears discussing though, Adam, us talking about some incentives perhaps, or something to encourage food, beverage, retail. Because it's a lot easier to get an attorney to move into an office, or a CPA to move into an office, or a stockbroker to move into an office, than it is someone that's starting up a new business, and they've got to get their business model together, and they've got to get their planning in place, and they've got to do all of these things. All the time, you've got a landlord or a property owner over here, they just want to rent their building. They got to rent their building so that they can pay their taxes and their bills and their insurance and all of that. So if there's some kind of incentive we can discuss going forward, I would love to have that opportunity, just so that we don't have all professional services end up taking over downtown. And lastly, on that same note, if you've ever gone to a big city and walked through a financial district at night or on the weekend, it's literally dead. Okay, and that's because there is no food and beverage, there is no retail, there is no experience, right? So let's just be mindful of that as this great city moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. White?
They do all of this stuff. And I would just like to ditto everything that has been said, and we did have a good time at the retreat. I went to a couple of sessions, and I hope that we're going to do something, especially the impact grant issue. I was going to bring that one back too, but you beat me to it also, so I thank you for being in that session, and I'm hoping that all of us learned something from the session that we attended, of the sessions that we attended. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. White. Ms. Butler?
Nothing tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Helms.
I think y'all did it all. Thank you.
Thank you. Not related to the impact grant, but there's another one that I can't name offhand that speaks to something extremely innovative that sort of changed the face of a community. I think we've already done that. And I think
that's the impact grant now.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And so I think we'd be very competitive in a particular month that we've paid a lot of attention to. And I could not imagine that any city in this state has done a greater thing than has happened here. And, I'll toot our horn. I'm not shy. I'll do it all day. I think we ought to be very, very happy about that. I gave each of you, on behalf of Post 111 American Legions, a pin. We issued a proclamation, I believe 2 meetings ago. They weren't here to actually receive it, so we set up another date to have them in, had a photo op, but they left these pins for you. And thank you, Natalia Simmons, for keeping up with them, because otherwise I wouldn't have distributed them today. One of the things at the annual meeting that impressed me the most was former Governor Beasley's presentation. He and his group won a, I just lost it. Nobel Peace Prize, of all things, Nobel Peace Prize for fighting hunger in the world. I was just blown away with the passion, with the love, with the caring for humankind, for pulling people together, for doing the right thing. I made some decisions based on some of his comments. None of us is as good as we can be, and I wish we could show that presentation to the world. I think we'd be a better place and a better people. I'm really happy also that we are identifying some funds for the second splash pad to be situated at, you called it, at the, no, what'd you call it? The Oasis at Smith Jones, absolutely. It may have been misinformation on my part, but my understanding some years ago was that the first splash pad would be there. I announced it everywhere I went, and now there are a lot of people who are looking at me cross-eyed for that misinformation, but as long as we're working on the next one.
The splash pad was intended to be there, and then the bill came in at $500,000 to fix the pool.
And what I didn't know was that it was contingent upon there being enough money with that other project, but I'm glad that's about to happen. Seems like there might have been one other thing. I was going to recognize a former member of the council who was with us until some minutes ago, and thank you. But Randy Alford was here. He has since left, and that's all I have at this time. We are going to have a workshop. Will we do it here or in the conference room? You are welcome to join us. We will, after the workshop, and the workshop is on, would you please?
The pedal cab pub. Pedal pub.
That thing that I don't know anything about, absolutely. It's interesting, it's really, really interesting, a pedal pub. Looks like great fun, so I encourage you all to sit and stay and find out about that. Don't you think it's gonna be fun? Of course it is. Okay, so we'll do that in the conference room, but you're all welcome to come. After which time we'll go into executive session, the purpose for which is A, a discussion of the city administrator's contract pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 3470A1. B, a discussion regarding potential acquisition of property near Sherwood Forest Park pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 3470A2. And C, a discussion regarding potential acquisition of property near Smith Jones Park pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 3470A2. We'll reconvene from executive session, and if any matters are acted upon outside of executive session, then those, we will, if any decisions are made, they will be made publicly, coming back out of executive session, and after which time we'll adjourn. So join us in the back if you will. Thank you so much for being here.
get something.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah. She has it though.
Make it work.
Is that your background on your computer?
No.
It's right there. You
Yeah,
can
it's
see it
just
on there.
So I guess while we're waiting, I'll do some introductions. My name's, right? Phil Samir. My name's Tom Palmer. I'm the general manager of Pedal Pub. We also are joined by Mandy Sabrini, our CEO of GLM. So I'll let her introduce herself. And then we have Jake, who is the president of Pedal Pub Global.
So I'm Mandy Sabrini. I'm the owner and CEO of Global Leisure Management. We're an attractions management company, and we operate the Sky Wheel that is located in Myrtle Beach on the boardwalk. And we're interested in bringing Pedal Pub to Conway.
Hey, Jude. Jude, these not working?
My name is Jake Halbert. I am the president of Pedal Pub. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for having us. We're very excited to potentially bring this exciting new venture to Conway. I traveled here from St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a little warmer back home. Skosh, but beautiful city, and excited to present to you all today.
All right. So we'll start with our beautiful aerial photography of the beautiful downtown Conway. Leaving us, obviously, we just did our introduction, so we're a little bit ahead of the game there. That leads us into slide number 3, which I'll turn that over to Jake to kind of give us a high-level overview of Pedal Pub.
Yeah, so Pedal Pub is, you've done one?
Oh, yeah.
Let's raise your hand if you've been on
by
Pedal
himself.
Pub.
Oh, that's it, oh.
There we go. Great. Half a dozen.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. So we're a franchise. We're in North America. We're the largest in our space in the multi-passenger bike touring business. We're in over 60 cities throughout the U.S. We're growing a lot in the Southeast, including the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. Our goal is to create a meaningful experience and a positive, enjoyable experience for locals in the Conway area, and of course tourists as well. So again, very excited to be here. Each Pedal Pub tour is designed to foster social connections, provide light exercise, and show off the city, whether it's historically, whether it's breweries, pubs, restaurants. We're also very big on corporate tours. So corporate tours are a big thing. How many times can you go bowling again? Bowling again. So we like to say we're corporate outings that don't suck.
And the light exercise, you do have to pedal.
You do have to pedal. We'll talk more about that.
Oh, you don't get beer?
There's 5 non-pedal seats.
Oh.
You got a bad knee or something? We have a bench. You can get on the bench.
All right, so that leads us to an overview of the actual vehicle.
Yeah, so some of you have been on them, you've seen them. So it's a 15-passenger bike. This picture is really cool because it showcases the bike is wrapped with a minor league baseball team. So like a Coastal Carolina or a local team business can wrap the bike for advertising purposes or to show off for like an event, something like that. 16 people, including the pilot. So there are 10 passengers, or 10 pedal passengers, 5 on each side. And there's 2 non-pedal seats above the wheel wells, and then there's 3 passengers on the back of the bike as well. It does feature an electric assist motor, so it helps a little. It's an intuitive motor that will pick up, when it feels struggle is real on the pedalers. So that's always good. More importantly, for Mr. Long, I believe, Mr. Long, Chief, e-assist is very good for safety. So if the patrons are in an establishment, they can switch the bike to drive mode and they can reposition the vehicle, reposition the bike in case there's an emergency vehicle or something of that nature. So e-assist is also very important for safety. Classic, everything a car has, right? Headlights, tail lights, blinkers, rear view mirror, brakes front and back, 2 axles, and like I said, there's a drive and pedal mode with the bike itself. Any questions about the bike?
No seatbelts.
Seatbelts can be installed.
If not a go for you, Larry.
Of course.
I would say these things do not go fast. I mean, you're talking.
We'll talk 9 miles an hour top speed.
Top speed. Yeah.
If everybody's pedaling like Larry, maybe 10. Maybe. But, yeah, so they don't go very fast.
I feel like we're gonna see both.
Yeah. I would say 95% of the markets in North America do not have seatbelts.
They don't.
No.
Okay, William.
Good question. Any other questions at all about the bike itself?
Why, I mean, I don't want to look a gift horse, but why here? I mean, what brought you here?
We see a downtown that has a lot of synergy with, the bars, breweries. It's a growing town, as we heard in the council meeting. We just feel like it's a good fit. We're also looking to open in Myrtle Beach as well. So we feel like it would be great in Conway and Myrtle, both. Mandy would be the owner of both locations. So it'd be a female-owned business, which is exciting as well. But we thought, you want a grid. You want a nice grid. We'll show you the map later. You want flat. Flat's good for the pedaling purposes. Yeah, so flat's good. And then other than that, you just want a vibrant city that has a budding social life.
And I'll piggyback on that a little bit, echoing what you talked about, Councilman Gomez, with the downtown area, right? Especially Main Street. I remember early on, I was actually telling Mandy about this last week, seeing the development of what's happened. My in-laws used to be in the farmer's market. If you ever bought sterling silver flatware, it was the husband and wife that did that in the Conway market down there. So they were always a part of this community. They lived in Conway. So, I married my wife in 2006. So seeing Conway grow through that was tremendous. And so when I initially came on board with Pedal Pop, I was like, man, oh my gosh, this town is fantastic. It's vibrant what they're doing downtown. I can see where we could be placed in this vicinity, which is really takes me to the slide in which we're in right now, which is experience the heart of historic downtown Conway, South Carolina, like never before. This engaging group-friendly adventure rolls through the city that is charming, Main Street District, covering key routes along Laurel Street, Elm Street, Beach Street, King Street, 2nd Avenue, and 3rd Avenue. The Pedal Pub tours will actually boost tourism and downtown foot traffic, support local businesses, both bars, restaurants, and retail establishments, offer a unique attraction for residents and visitors, because y'all have set the bar here for what you're doing with every event that happens in the city. We come to all of them. Create local jobs, pilots and tour guides, align with Conway's goals for cultural and recreational development, and be a community partner, which is very, very important to us as a company. That leads us to the tours. I don't know if you want to piggyback anything there, Jake?
No, the community part though, we do like cleanup tours at the beginning, spring and fall, where our team will go around the city and just do cleanups. It's a good way to engage with the city, good way to get our bike out there. The best billboard is our bike on the road, as you can imagine. When people see it, a lot of videos, a lot of pictures, which is fun and exciting. So yeah, very involved in the community. We want to be part of all the wonderful events here at Conway.
And that's both with Pedal Pub as well as GLM, very involved in our communities. So the Pedal Pub tours, they're 2-hour guided tours, up to 15 passengers, 10 pedaling, 5 seated for those that don't want to pedal. Pre-scheduled routes and stops, which you'll see we have a high level of area of operation that we put together just for that we'll grow upon. Pre-scheduled routes and stops at local businesses and landmarks. Again, I'm a big history buff, and I love all the history that has happened here in Conway, and would love to talk about that on our tours. I'm getting ready to take a test with Conway Alive for the history test for a tour guide, so I'm very excited about that. So I can't wait. I studied the big binder, so it was awesome.
Not an easy test.
No, that's what Miss Ann told me. Yes, Miss Ann told me that, but I did. I got the book. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm back at school.
What was Conway's name before it was Conway?
Conway Borough.
Yeah. Before that.
You just said it.
River City.
River City.
Larry.
I don't think it is.
I wasn't born then.
Kingston, yes, Kingston, yes.
Kingston Street.
Remember that.
Just in case it's on the test.
Yes.
I may have helped you out.
Well, I have everything highlighted, so I'm ready to go. So I won't tell Miss Ann you helped. All right. So we want to offer 2 options to cater to different preferences and group sizes. We have the public tour. This option is perfect for individuals or small groups looking to mingle and make new friends while exploring the city. We have a lot of restaurant owners that have expressed how they met friends. The tour that you may have been on, they still keep in contact with those friends at the end of those tours. So that's pretty cool to kind of bring the community together in a different way. And then we have our private tours, which is ideal for the choice of celebrations, bachelorette parties, birthday parties, retirement parties, team building parties, or simply a family fun event with your loved ones. So 2 different tours, the public and private, and we can continue to expand on that as business continues to grow. But again, it all circles back to bringing business to our amazing retail shops and restaurants within the downtown Conway area.
You have non-alcoholic beverages?
So,
Yeah, so you can bring, so we have two different types of tours. BYOB, where we provide a cooler with ice. And we were gonna get to that, so you're jumping the gun, I like that. Ahead of the game. No, that's good. But yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's the one I want.
we have all kinds of fun ones around. But it's all about the experience, right? The guest experience is paramount, and showcasing this wonderful city is what we truly want to do in a very different, fun way. So you'll see here a map. This is, again, not set in stone. Just kind of going through some route opportunities based off of the parking lot and the splash pad here, along with some parking lots that Tom Anderson owns throughout the city as well, that we can utilize with his partnership, which is great. But again, just high level, the grid, which you heard Jake kind of talk about, crossing over Main Street, so we're not contributing to any further traffic there. But it is exciting to hear that you guys want to put golf carts on there, so that to showcase your amazing Main Street, what you do during the holidays would be awesome. But you can see where we're hitting different establishments throughout the map there. So again, this isn't a concrete map, it's more or less high level, so you can kind of see where we would like to operate within. Checking out the Riverwalk, we have Bonfire, you have the Water Tower, the Peanut Warehouse, and all the establishments on 3rd Avenue and then and beyond. Any questions in regards to that map or yeah?
Excuse me. I know it's early in the conversation, but I just wonder, with something like this, you don't think it's gonna cause, and we have such narrow streets in Conway, especially in the downtown area.
Sure.
You don't think this is gonna cause some kind of jam in the traffic? How you can avoid that? What's your plan to avoid that?
Yeah, so we do not, so I was gonna speak to Mr. Long, like pedal pub routes, we wanna work with the city, we wanna work with the PD department to not impede traffic. Keep in mind, like one example that sticks out is we'll have 10 bikes running at one time on Broadway in downtown Nashville, and traffic's never an issue. In Nashville, it's obviously a bigger city than this, but as an example, we don't operate between 5 and 6 in Nashville because it's rush hour, everyone's off work. So we'd be off the roads. So those are things, conversations we'd love to have. Want to make sure we loop in the police department. But we're in small cities like Augusta, Georgia. We're in huge cities like Nashville, Minneapolis, and it's never a problem. Minneapolis is a good example. My hometown, it's where corporate was founded in 2007. Tons of one-ways. And so like the city right away was asking questions like that. And we operate 6 bikes at one time in downtown Minneapolis. So we're not here to impede any traffic or slow anybody down.
No. Okay. I was asking, like, do you have like a certain plan where you can actually, do you have a vision how this is gonna run or how we can avoid something like this to happen when the operations start?
Yeah, we would create a route map, which is what we're trying to show here, is that we turn left on the street. We would try to avoid traffic with our route, and there's a stop, like there's 2 stops on the route. So we would unload passengers, they would go out and visit restaurants or bars, retail shops, or might be on the sweets tour, they'd go get an ice cream and come back on. So we don't want the attendees also to be sitting in traffic. That's not fun. We want them to be pedaling, so we would find alternate routes to avoid traffic. Because that's part of the experience. We want them to be moving. And they don't have to, it's not as much of looking around when you're on the bike, it's being together on the bike, pedaling, and then stopping, getting off, and walking around to the destination, to your stop.
And our routes in any given city are, believe it or not, again, we're not going very fast, is like 1.5 to 2 miles total for the whole 2 hours. So we're not going to be on the streets for 4 miles, 5 miles, it's 1.5 to 2 miles in its entirety for the tour.
Yeah, so this example route that you see here is 1.75 miles currently.
Yeah, under 2 miles.
Under 2 miles. And I based this on low traffic streets like Kingston, Laurel, where we're not impeding any type of traffic, where it's just based on local knowledge of driving through the routes multiple times a day, where it's not high traffic areas. I know that may change during events, obviously with parking, flows of traffic, which we can be nimble and shift where needed in that, but this is kind of based on low traffic areas currently. Any other questions in regards to the map?
Yeah, that's right. One other comical question. Would you have oxygen tanks on there?
Larry, I got you.
B-Y-O-B, in your own bottle of oxygen.
I got you, Larry.
And your nasal can, Justin, Jordan will bring you some.
A lot of our locations in the south have Mister fans that fit in the cup
That's
holder.
right.
Just
So
for
you
the
keep nice and
asterisk.
cool. So you can fan yourself, mist yourself, stay hydrated, keep cool.
Just a comment, what I like about you guys is you've proven yourself successful. You've seen everything, that you know what's gonna pop up. Too often, we've got folks that come in and they've got great intentions, but they don't know what they're doing. And it becomes a disaster, not a disaster, but it becomes a problem.
A disaster.
Yeah, sometimes it's a disaster.
Well,
So,
the one thing about Pedal Club, and it's our mantra from corporate on down, is safety first. Everyone's gonna have fun. We're not worried about people having fun. They're gonna have a good time, they're gonna make those memories, they're gonna enjoy themselves, they're gonna see the great city, but safety is always our number one priority. And our track record of safety throughout the entire US is impeccable, and Canada for that matter.
And you just let me know when you're coming off oxygen. I'll keep it on the low too.
And could the routes be changed to include other areas of the city?
100%. So that'll happen with growth, right? So again, going back to the nimble piece, again, grid pattern, high level, so you can kind of just see where we're looking. But we'll shift based on tours that may book and want to do something different than food, right? We'll take it to different areas. Again, being very aware, high sensitive to traffic, but again, showcasing the city and what it needs to be showcased as is a wonderful destination, and then tying that to our guest experience.
And that's, so like Augusta, Georgia's a good example. They have a river walk tour that they have, just goes down by the Savannah River. And they have a James Brown tour, where you stop for a picture opportunity at the James Brown statue. Then there's a really cool James Brown mural downtown. They'll stop at that for a picture opportunity as well. So as Tom mentioned, as we grow and modify routes, we always want to work with the city to be inclusive of you guys' approval.
We've got to get our James Brown statue.
It's a great statue. There you go.
That's my cousin.
I have a question about accessibility. How does that work for potentially individuals with disability or potentially people who are plus size? Like,
sure.
How does that accessibility work?
Yeah, so the back bench is for those folks. We can fit 2 to 3 people on the back bench. And there's a step up, it's one step to get up. So yeah, it's very accessible for those individuals. We're going to be inclusive of everyone. Yeah.
Everything but a lift.
Everything but a lift and oxygen. So.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll work on that.
I got you, bro, I got you.
Question back here?
I'm quite the engineer in my mind, but have you guys ever thought about making one that could travel on water as well, like in the marina?
A paddle pub?
Paddle pub.
That's another meeting, sir. This one is on the road. We can talk to you after. Chat.
Our chief of police has some questions.
Yes, of course.
You said you had two basic type tours. One is the BYOB, the other is what?
Non-alcohol tour. So if anyone, and this is, we'll get into more of the safety, kind of rules of the road, we'll talk about that. If any one person is under 21, it's no alcohol for the whole tour, for safety purposes.
There's no way to.
Yep, there's no way to police it.
Okay.
So, yeah, if anyone's under 21, so high school graduation party, that's alcohol free, waters, etc.
Do you have a model in South Carolina yet?
Yep, so we have a license in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
He's been operating for over 10 years.
Okay, so that is going to be in some type of designated zone? Because I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get around our state law on no alcohol in public.
Yeah, so
we do it for special events in zones, so how are we going to, what's your plan?
Well, we would like to always be able to allow it, but that might require some city ordinance changes. We're not asking for that. I think we're asking for whatever is within the current law, which is during those special events, when you have that consumption zone, that's when we would have consumption on the bike. If you do ever create that social zone, then that would mean anytime we have a tour with 21 and older.
And you can sort of stay within that zone.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, so the tour will be identified within that social district.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else, sir?
I'm sure I'll have some as you kind of.
Okay.
That was a major one there. We're in conflict with state law, with which one to do.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very familiar with
Well,
that.
can we look into what Columbia does and?
Yes, we can. I'll get them on. How
So
far along were you
it
with
is
Myrtle
allowed.
Beach? How far along were you with Myrtle Beach?
Just workshop as well.
Workshop? Okay. I'm just trying to see what
Yeah.
questions they have, because they're probably the same as us.
Yes.
Just trying to, let's work this out at the same kind of rate. Okay.
Absolutely. So that was a perfect segue into the potential tours, right? So going back to, I think you can tell I'm a history buff and I love the city, so complementing the historic sightseeing charm of downtown Conway and the retail experience are visits to some of the area's most beloved dining and beverage hotspots, right? Including Hop and Witch, Crafty Rooster, Whitaker's, Rivertown Bistro, which is one of my favorites, Palmetto Taps, which I love that y'all got that going over there, Bonfire Taqueria, and Shanti's Pizza. Crafting those tours from craft beers to cocktails to gourmet bites and wood-fire pizzas, shopping on Main Street, going back to what Councilman Wolfish was talking about how that's really ramped up there, which is excellent, to local baked sweet treats over at the Trestle and ice cream. Each stop delivers a taste of Conway's diverse and welcoming food scene. So again, the potential tour piece is ideal for birthdays, team outings, or fun day out with friends. Our Pedal Hub tours combine local flavor, community spirit, unforgettable memories, all while pedaling through South Carolina's most picturesque downtowns. And that's why we added a lot of these photos in here, because they're stunning areas for us to stop and showcase what y'all have done so wonderfully in our city.
Well, as long as that doesn't attract too many more people.
Yes.
I believe that. Are you continuing?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we're waiting for questions.
Please.
You go.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that I thought you were done.
Oh,
I'll
no.
say that until you're done. I'm so
Sure.
sorry. Absolutely. It's not a question at all.
Yeah.
It was a closer.
It was my mic drop moment. So that leads us to the pedal pud policies, which we kind of have touched throughout a lot of these throughout the presentation.
Yeah.
I know Jake will maybe highlight some that we have.
This will be quick. So again, routes that don't impede traffic. We don't travel on roads that are 35 miles an hour or more, 35 or less. Bike speed travels about 9 miles per hour. They have electric assist to move the vehicle in case of an emergency. Equipped with everything, like I said, headlights, taillights, blinkers, brakes, etc. Pedal Club pilots serve as drivers and tour guides. So again, focusing on featuring the city, what's so great about it, making stops. That also leads to increased revenue at those stops, right? And tax dollars as well. Our Pedal Club pilots are subject to criminal and driving background checks. This next one that has a lot of words, I'll tell you, we have a pilot certification program. And William, you hit on it. So that's our track record. Everyone has to be certified. They have a series of videos and quizzes they have to pass. You have to have 100% to become a pilot. I don't know how 70 still gets you keys to a car. It's like a C minus. Here's the car and go. So very, very important to us, and safety is a number one priority. And then during non-operating hours, we will secure the bikes in a warehouse somewhere locally.
On site, downtown.
How many will you be running that,
We're gonna start with one.
Okay.
Just one bike. Myrtle Beach will have 2 right away. Bigger cities start with 2.
Thank you.
And then next slide.
Yeah, so,
So yeah, pedal pubs, the drivers are, we call them pilots for a reason. They're running the show, they're empowered to make sure everyone's safe, first and foremost, everyone's having fun. There's some music on the bikes, so they'll do different playlists, all family-friendly playlists, no explicit lyrics to keep it, on the up and up, right? I talked about the background checks and the routes and the pedal pub bikes, what they're equipped with. And then just from a passenger perspective, passengers do sign like a waiver, just like you would for like a kayaking tour or a zip line. So we have waivers embedded in. So if this group were on the bike and I was the pilot, I do Jay from State Farm. I wear khakis. That didn't do as hard. That was gonna be hard. But I would go through and check everyone's ID and make sure they signed the waiver before we head out on the tour. And then I would go through a speech real quick, about 2-3 minutes, and talk about the rules of the road. when the bike's moving, we're on butts and seats, kind of have some fun with it, but make sure safety is, again, top priority. I know you're gonna have fun, so I'm not worried about that. I want you to be safe.
So if it's my birthday, how do I summon a club tour?
Yep, just through a website.
Okay.
We have a booking software. You can do it on your phone, tablet, computer.
Is there an opportunity, you're passing by and it's empty, just to say, hey? No, because you've got the 6-person minimum for one thing. That's it.
And the waiver.
And a waiver, yeah.
However, we will have signage to where they can QR code to identify what we are, and then book a tour later that day.
Sure.
And or later in the week.
And we'd only pick up at our pickup spot,
Correct.
because we're not letting
Yeah,
people
we're not
just
yet.
jump on wherever.
And if it's a tour that's already going and someone gets on, we actually yell stranger danger. Make it really awkward. Somebody got on. Didn't pay.
And I want to touch on the stopping. As you saw on there, we have identified areas in which we're going to load and unload, right? So for the chief, we're not going to be inhibiting traffic, pulling over in handicap parking spots or no parking zones. We have already identified lots and areas in which we can load and unload that. So that's already been thought out.
So this one again is alcohol rules of the road. I spoke to some of these already. If anyone is under 21, there's no alcohol being consumed on the bike, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Only beers and seltzers allowed, canned. So no hard alcohol and never any glass. Safety reasons, right? All alcoholic beverages must remain on the bike. They never leave the bike. Just like you can't take a drink out of a bar onto the bike. So we're very diligent about that safety. Pedal Pub pilots are fully responsible. We've never had the need to end a tour, but if we have, somebody getting a little out of control, we'll either kick that individual off or end the tour. Pilot has full empowerment to do that. Any person that arrives intoxicated already, they were pre-gaming, so to speak, they're not allowed on, right? We make sure we wrap up like a last call, and then of course, we do recycle all the, keep it clean, family-friendly business. And then any inappropriate behavior, that's again at the beginning when we do a speech. We set the table for how much fun we're gonna have. Let's keep it family-friendly. Let's keep everybody, safe and having a good time, laughing, smiling. And then if that were to escalate, again, the pilot has the power to end the tour or kick that individual off. It's never happened, so we're good to go there.
What's the typical cost per person per ride?
So it's going to vary on individual seats or booking a whole tour. So you can book out
15 or
so 8 people can buy a whole bike just for the 8 of them. If you want, if it's just a group of 8 and they want to go out. Individual seats will be $35 to $40 for 2 hours, and then $349 to $449 for the whole bike. So it's cheaper to rent the whole bike if you got 15 people than the individual seats. But if it's 2 of you in town for work and you just want to do something fun in town, $35 for 2 hours. Question, sir?
Just one main concern. What is the alcohol consumption limit? How many beers are they allowed to have on that tour?
2. 2. In 2 hours. So, yeah, good question. So we'll check when they bring it too.
Are you going to be exempt from the Department of Revenue's requirements since it's going to be either bring your own beer, you're not actually selling or serving beer, because you wouldn't be able to do that.
Correct.
Under state law, they would have to all either be bring your own or none at all.
Correct.
So, okay.
We pay taxes on the tour's sales only.
Which brings up another question. You've got a limit of 2, and you've got me carrying that bag. How do you guarantee that I don't drink 6 during those 2 hours?
Because the pilot, when they check you in, they control that as well. Yeah, they control. So, and even furthermore, like getting into kind of the nitty gritty, it's a great question, yes, sir. Nashville really holds the ABV, alcohol by volume, so everything is under 8%. So like now you can have those like canned wines, and they can get to like 10, 12, 14 in a can. Those aren't allowed. So we keep the ABV at 8 or less for seltzers and canned beers.
I have a question.
Please.
What if I signed up like 5 people who I wanted to bring their 2 beers each.
Mhm.
And then another family signed up and had a kid under 12.
Then we would reschedule that tour or no alcohol. Reschedule that person that has the underage to a different time slot, or there won't be any alcohol. That's a strict, no way,
I mean, is there a cancellation, or would you get your money back because you?
We always try to reschedule first, but
Okay.
we cancel if we need.
Okay.
And we ride rain or shine, so I'll get to that just for a second. The roof does overhang the guests, so if it's raining, you stay dry. But obviously if there are, tornado warnings or, a hurricane, heaven forbid, we would cancel or reschedule the tour. So we are aware of weather.
Yeah.
I think we may need to look at our consumption zone issue again if this goes well. Because otherwise they're gonna have a moving target of when they can do the alcohol tours and when they can't.
That's right.
It's hard for the businesses downtown now to know. It'd be even harder for this, so just throwing it out there.
How does it work in Columbia? Because you operate regularly in Columbia, and do they allow the vehicle on, or allow alcohol on the vehicle in
Correct.
Columbia?
It's a BYOB, and again, the cooler and ice is provided by
And
the
they have an
owner.
alcohol consumption zone, I'm assuming, in Columbia to where they regulate that locally.
Correct, and they're allowed to run on only certain streets, just like we would probably be here. And you can ride between 4th and 10th, or I don't know what the streets are, sorry.
Yeah.
But a certain zone. So like Columbus, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, their downtown area has certain blocks where it's okay, you can go through Broadway and 15th, and then Riverwalk and 10th or whatever it is. That's where you can operate.
And I know we've been emphasizing on the alcohol piece too, but others don't want to forget like the family-oriented ice cream tours, and also just showing off how great your city is in that regard as well, with photo murals, the theater, what we can do in regards to like dinner and a theater type of tours. So thinking outside the box in that regard, there is other opportunities for other tours versus just alcohol.
One of my favorite tours is the brunch tour that I did in Detroit. We did brunch at a really wonderful restaurant.
Yeah.
So we pedaled for a while, had brunch, worked off not all brunch, pedaled some more, tried to work it out, and then ended. But it was a great tour with a great restaurant that,
And if we can't allow alcohol on the bike during the brunch tour, they can get a mimosa at the restaurant.
Correct.
So, and we're not asking to, like, we'll do the work to make sure, okay, now we can have consumption, now we can't. Of course, it would be more fun and easier for us if the consumption zone was in place, but we understand that we got to stay within the laws.
And for those that have been on it, you know how safe and fun it is. It's both safe and fun. Safe first.
You may be getting rid of, you may be, I'm trying. What's the youngest age that can be on the bike, or?
It's kind of
is
like a
it
carnival
high?
ride, like 48 inches or taller.
Okay.
It's about
Okay.
12.
Okay.
About 12 years old.
But you base it on height, actually.
48, correct.
Feet have to touch the pedal.
Correct. Some of our competitors out there
Get
don't
on
have
it.
Sorry, kid.
Go ahead, man.
Now you gotta watch it.
oxygen with this guy.
Have to put some high heel shoes on.
So that's where I'll come to a wrap up. So I just wanted to, we'd like to thank you just for your time, your communication, swift communication. I know Adam and I talked like in one day and we got rolling, so I just appreciate your excitement about that, letting us come present. And you all have my contact info, the website, and we're open for any more questions or discussion if necessary.
Well, I just wanted to also thank you for coming and bringing this idea our way. If I had my finger on the pulse of the people at this table, I think there's general interest in what you offer. And it's a matter of working through the pieces. I want to be on the first ride.
You got it.
You're reserving a seat. Are you gonna pedal or not? Okay.
Yes.
Mary, your last first ride didn't go off.
That was a disaster.
I was on the first ride of the sky wheel on the beach.
Oh, right.
Yes,
You did what?
the first ride of the,
Did they let you ride?
In our first grand opening or our 10-year anniversary?
first grand.
Oh, wow.
Well, then we have a picture
I
on
just
the front.
happened to get over there and they said, well, come on now.
Thank
I said we can kill him now.
They just told Larry that.
Yeah, the first one, they've been operating 6 years.
I want to introduce Angie. She's the regional operations manager for GLM. So her scout team here at the beach, they do a fantastic job here and in Florida. So I just wanted to at least introduce her to y'all. She's very impactful in the community and does a lot of great things with that team, and which we would do here as well.
So I think your next step is going to be working through the franchise agreement process with the planning department?
Yeah, and I guess my biggest question with that is where, the franchise agreement would normally mean that there's city property involved, because that's what the purpose of the franchise agreement is. So is there like a specific place that you're proposing a pickup or a meetup location that's going to be city property?
Yes, so we have.
We wouldn't have our own storefront.
We're
just
storing
the bike, and so
we're not going to pick up where we store it. That's just to keep the bike safe.
Exactly.
So we would want to partner with restaurants, businesses to say, we can start at your restaurant. They love that because people will go there first and maybe eat and then sign the waivers there.
So you would need it private property, not actually city-owned property?
Yes. I mean,
Both probably, but yeah. They would meet on the sidewalk outside of the restaurant to sign their waivers and get on the bike.
Correct. So then we would need the franchise agreement. I was wondering if it was a touring vehicle versus the franchise agreement, but then I think the touring vehicle is you'd have to get permission every time you want to do a tour versus you always have.
Maybe y'all can look at that with them,
Let's
see what way it
figure
works
that
best.
out.
Yeah.
But we have identified pickup locations, both public and private.
Is Goldfish just one of those places?
That would be the haunted.
Yes.
That would be the haunted.
We'll get with you on like advertising
There's
requirements,
nothing
but you
fancy
have to
from
actually
there's nothing in the
advertise
store.
Oh, yeah.
that would be involved, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why I
Yeah.
asked, is,
For the franchise agreement.
for the franchise, agreement, if you go that route.
All right.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Y'all be thinking
Pleasure
about a
meeting you.
Ferris wheel
Thank
on
you.
our new
Thank you.
Kansas. We're in Carl. Yes. Yes.
I was on there. Thank you. I got you.
All right, is there anything else to workshop?
No, workshop is concluded.
All right, we are about to go into executive session.
I was just gonna,
To go into
yeah,
executive session.
yeah, that's my.
That's it. We have a properly seconded motion to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? There being none, unanimously, we are positioned to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Good luck.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, good question. Appreciate it.
And they can park it right there. I will give y'all a brief update on our Sea Turtle, CCU alumni that they are, they have gotten all their federal government, funding, not funding, but documentation and that type of thing.
That was quick.
And we are back live.
Awesome, thank you. Just like that. I wish the rest of my life worked out so well.
All right.
That was quick and easy.
Yeah, we golden.
Has anybody else come in? Do you think? Is there anybody else here?
There is a reporter in there, but she did not move.
Okay, well, in that case.
She wants you or William, by the way.
Oh, she told me she didn't have a minute. I'll go. So, back to where we are. So we're back in our regular meeting.
Yes.
We need to entertain a motion to agree to the terms of a 5-year contract for our city administrator, beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2020, I mean 30, I think. Mr. White?
I move that we accept the city administrator's contract from 2025 to 2030.
Thank you. Is there a second, Mr. Jordan?
I will second that.
All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Goldberg.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
I second. All in favor? Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Thank you, William, for your.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
You better not go home without it.
I-
Sounds good.